and today I'm going to show you how to use our digital access on Phonics Shed. So first of all, once you log in, your teacher account home will look like this. So it'll have this pink banner going across the top and then your school hashtag number. Now the only bit that will be slightly different in mine is I'm an admin user, which you will have in your school, and that means that we've got this extra part of our menu down here. So it means that I can add and delete teachers and pupils, and I can also add and delete things to do with the subscription. The rest is all exactly the same. So what you might want to do first is organise your group into phonics groups if that's something that you would like to do. So all you do here is simply click Add Group, give your group a name, I'm just going to call it Phonics Group 1, and then it will be added to the list of your group. As I'm an admin, I can see all of the groups in the school here, so you most probably won't have this many. So in my Phonics Group 1, I'm going to click Details, and then I can add any other teachers, so TAs or any job shares, any other teachers that you would like to see this group. And then I can also add pupils. So what I click is Add Pupils, and then go through and click the pupils I want in this group here. I can also search them up here. So that's what my group will look like. I'm just going to go on a different group that I have been using to show you other things that you'll be able to see on the group. So here I can see my pupils. I can also see this other name which is not theirs, and that is to keep them protected outside of school, safeguarding feature, and this is their display name. If you would like to, you can change that by clicking down there. You will also be able to see their scores, what licenses they've got. There is also here the actions. This will delete them from the group. It won't delete them permanently, just remove them from the group. And also there's a free optional tool here, in case you want to use this in your class, for rewards. So I can click on a pupil and give them points or reward them with honeypots, which is the currency within EdShed, which children can use to buy things for their avatar. You can also, if I click them, click a negative, and you can also take these away. You can have this full screen on your interactive whiteboard if you would like to, and you can also create table groups. So that's just a free feature. Now if I click here, this will show any assignments that the pupils in my group have. They don't have any here at the moment. And if I click in phonics data, this will show any data for this phonics group. So here you can see there's a chapter, there's the different sets, and there are different coloured icons next to the different pupils. Now what I will show you first of all is an assessment session which you can do here. So to launch the assessment session, you simply click there. You click the mode that you want, so I'll show you the grapheme mode first, and then the chapter which you want to assess. Now you can select the whole chapter. You can also select specific sets that you might want to assign here. Once you're happy with the graphemes you want to assess, click Next and click on the child. So I'll have this child sitting with me here, and it describes here what you need to do. To sit with your pupil, ask them to voice out the graphemes and assess their comprehension as correct, incorrect or close. You can click End Game, which is up here, anytime, and it will end early and it will save. At the end of the assessment, the scores will be submitted and the pupil will also receive honeypots as a reward for doing it. So if you click Start, and then you ask your pupil to give the sound for this grapheme shown and score their comprehension below. So you're looking for them to say ng for wing the duckling, and ch for Charlie the chicken. These are our characters underneath that go with these GPCs. So once you're happy with that, or if you want to end early, click there. That's what will show these down here for whichever chapter that you have just done. So we just did chapter 3 there. If you want to at a later date go and change this, you simply click on it and then change it and add a comment if needed and click save. The other assessment sessions you can do, so that was graphemes, you can also do a word list, and this can be taken from our scheme or it can be taken from a list that you have created or that's been shared with you. So if I click next, I'll do it for the same pupil, click here are the words that are in here, and we're asking the pupil to say this word and score their comprehension below, so whether they've got that correct, nearly, or not at all. The final assessment session you can do is for a screening check simulator. So it will generate a word list to simulate the phonics screening check. So again, you'll have your pupil next to you. Click launch assessment. This is what will be within it. And again, it explains a little bit how to do that there. And we'll click start. Ask your pupil to say this word and score their comprehension below. And it will come up whether it's an alien word or not. So that's how you can do this and use the assessment sessions. The other thing you can do is you can generate printed reports. So this is for a group report. That would look something like this. So it's just generated the one for chapter 3 there because I had it on chapter 3. You can also print pupil reports. So if I select a pupil and select the chapter once again, will select a pupil report which looks similar to this. So it's got all of the different sets in chapter 2 there and how they are doing in each of those. Now, as this is the group page, this shows everyone in your group the total that's covered, the total learned, and if there are pupils on track or at year 1, and there's some information there to explain what those things mean. So that is the group page. Now if we go into a pupil page, you can see some information in more detail. So on our pupil page we can see the assignments set for this pupil. We can see how many honeypots they've got, and here we'll show what they have bought or spent their honeypots on, the groups that they are in, the licenses that they have got. And then if we go to phonics data, this will show the detailed report for this pupil, which you can see here. So there's chapter 2, chapter 3, 4A, and again you can print a pupil report from here, selecting their chapter, very similar to before. Here is another way you can launch the same assessment session. It's exactly the same as before, but on the individual pupil. So it will create the same information, and this will also show up in the group that this pupil is in that grid as well. It's just another way to get to that shortcut. It will also show where you've got the password for that pupil, where you can change it. You can also change their display name, which I showed you earlier there. And it gives them their username. Now what I will show you next are the resources. So the resources can be found either on this green button here or in the menu on the left. If I click there, you will have all of the Spelling Shed resources with Phonics Shed as well. There is a separate training session which we will also send you, and is also available on our YouTube webpage, about how to use Spelling Shed. You have got their PowerPoints here, as well as the SPAG lessons for each of them. Stage is the same as the year. You can also see the spelling lists there. For Phonics Shed, we'll click in here and you can see all of the different chapters and the guidance and resources there for you. We also have a digital flashcard tool, which means that you don't have to worry about having physical flashcards or creating them. Start flashcards session and we'll go for graphemes first. Now I can click advanced here and have uppercase and lowercase. I can also select the graphemes that I want to show up within the cards. So say today we did chapter 3. There we are, Wing the Duckling. If we did Wing the Duckling today, we'd probably need a bit of a recap on whatever they had previously. So if I go from that to Wing the Duckling, there we go. And then you can also change the order should you wish to. You can shuffle them and then we'll click start. And what you can do is flip the card and on the back it will show the character. So the Rebecca the Broccoli is made up of 2 Curly the cats here. And we've got curl the curliest tail to her claws. That's our formation rhyme there. And you can go to next card. You can go to previous card. Maybe if they haven't quite got one, you can click see again and that will just reshuffle it so it appears again. So that's a really lovely tool for you to be able to use and save laminating any cards. If I just show you what the advanced one looks like, that just also includes the uppercase as well. So if I go to chapter 3 and regular, so if I wanted to just click on specific ones, maybe for example, if it's an intervention group, so it doesn't follow a specific order, it might just be some of their gaps. You can then click random ones as well. The other one that it's got is it's also got this for high frequency words. So again, we can select them. We can select all from a specific set, or we can select specific ones that children need help with. If I go to 4B, just so you can see some of them. And again, you can drag and drop them. You can select other ones to go in there. Click start. And you can go next card. There's nothing to see on the back of these ones. Again, you can reshuffle them and click see again, should you need to. If we click on a chapter, this will then break down further into the different sets within this chapter. This resources section has got further freezes, high frequency word cards and sound mats, should you wish to print and make them. If we click in one of these, this will then show everything that's for set 1. So first of all, if we go into the planning section and click on planning. Now down here you can see there are a few other things. We've got consolidation. These are extra plans that cover the same GPCs, but just mean that if you've got those pupils that need extra consolidation, you're not just repeating the same lesson over and over again for them. You've also got a book list of optional books which go with also this set and the resources for the consolidation. I'm going to click in our daily planning. And up here you can see we've got the planning, the resources for it and the book list. So if I click download on the planning, I'll get that up for us here. You can see that we have got an overview at the beginning. So it gives you the timings for the different sections in the plan. And we've got short parts of the overview here. Now, some experienced teachers, or once you get going with the scheme, you might be able to just follow those. But as you scroll down, there'll be a more detailed lesson plan. We've also got some enhanced provision ideas there. So here's our lesson 1 lesson plan, and it will show us all the resources that we need. So we need this decodable reading scheme, we'll need the puppet our flashcards, the Wing the Duckling storybook, and then we've got our smartboard and pencils. Now here, let's have a look at what we will need to get up before we start this lesson. So I've had a quick read through, ready to teach it. If I go back to EdShed, there are guidance materials that you can use before you teach this if you are unsure. So first thing that I would look at are the guidance videos. So if we're doing Wing the Duckling, I'm going to click the guidance video for ng, click view, and have a look here.
This is the NG digraph. The character for this digraph is Wing the Duckling. It uses the letters N and G to make the ng sound. The action for the ng digraph is ng, ng, ng.
So these are videos for teachers, not for pupils. They are guidance on how to say the phoneme and also do the action. So now I know what that is, although it describes it a bit more on the plans, but it's always useful to have a good look at that video so you know exactly how you are doing it. Then we might want to get our teaching book and resources ready. So here's Wing the Duckling, this is the teaching book. So if I click view there, I've got my teaching book up and ready for my lesson. And here it is here, and this is what it will look like. And this is a really nice way to be able to put this on the interactive whiteboard, although if you've purchased our packs, you'll also have the hard copies too. Going back to our planning, it follows the same routine at the beginning. So we do see, sound, name, action, and then best fit. So we show the flashcard, and you might either have printed these off or you've got them if you've got the hard copies in the packs. We say the sound and we run Joe's hand over the letters on the flashcard and repeat. Then we say the name. The two letters that make up wing sound are N and G. Can you say N and G? The children repeat and correct. We then do the action, which is why we watched the guidance video beforehand, so that we have shown how to move the elbows as wings. And then the best fit rules. So we're discussing where we find these on different words. Can you think of any other words that end with ng? Then as the whole group, we go through the formation and the song. So the place where you will find the songs, you can find them for free on our Phonics YouTube channel, or you can also find them in the songs folder here. So here's our Wing the Duckling song. We click download, that will go there and we can listen to it. The words to the songs are found in the resources next to the planning.
Wing the duckling loves to sing. Singing is Wing's favourite thing.
And you can see that the words also come up. Then we've got the story, Wing the Duckling story, the teaching book that we got up earlier to introduce Wing the Duckling. Then we have our independent activities. Again, they're just in the resources that go with the planning. And then we've got some key points to cover in the plenary and the assessment here. So that is all of the things that you would need if you were teaching a lesson. Here you can see the decodable reading books in case you also want to share these with the children on the interactive whiteboard. These are the pupil books, so different to the teaching books. And we can see Wing's Big Racket here. And they come up just like this, so we'd click play. And go through this, covering things like key vocabulary, and there will be some comprehensions at the back. Now going back on to resources, these are again just extra flashcards in case you want to use those for this set. Planning we have gone through, we've gone through the songs, and then finally we have got interventions. These are plans that cover the same set here in the same order, but are shorter, more concise, and are used for either a very small group or mainly one-to-one for those pupils that need extra intervention, as we also have those consolidation plans to use if it was a small group too. This is meant to be very quick, targeted 10-minute session. So here we can see Wing the Duckling. Again, we do the same routine. We recap previous sounds, then we do see, sound, name, action for Wing the Duckling. The intervention plans follow a very similar structure. So once you have done that routine that we do at the beginning of nearly all the phonics lessons, we'll then do listen. I will read some real words and alien words, tap or clap when you hear ng. Find. So we will lay out the flashcards and you will point to the sound we are learning today. And then read. So reading some of these words by writing them on an interactive whiteboard or flip chart or small whiteboard, whatever you've got to hand. And then doing some writing, modelling by an adult, the letter formation, and getting the pupils to also write some of these. And then our assessment at the bottom there. So very quick, speedy 10-minute session, one-to-one for pupils who need some extra teaching. So that covers all of the resources that you will find on that resources button there. If you want to set an assignment, so set to either a game or a book for pupils on Phonics Shed, you'll need to go to the assignment section, click create, and then click single assignment. Then give your assignment a title. I'll do a book first. When you want it to appear for the child, you can do this in the future if you want to, and when you want it to expire for the child. And then click on Phonics Shed book, the chapter you want the book from, and the set, and then click on the book and click select. Now this means it says limit options until required games played. Now this just means if you want to click this over, this will just show for the pupil the work that has been set for them by the teacher, so it will only show the assignments. You could put in 3, so that means that the child would need to read the book or complete the assignment 3 times, and then the rest of the screen will be available. If you just want it left to the work that you have set for them, leave it blank for no limit, or if you're happy for them to have access to other games, just leave it like that. Click save, select your pupils you want to set this to. There's an option to track group here, and that just means that if pupils move out of this group, they'll be taken out of this assignment. Click next, and here you can add any teachers who need to see this assignment. So maybe it's teaching assistants or job shares that need to know if pupils have done their homework. Click add, and then everybody here can see this assignment, and then click close. If you'd like to set a specific Phonics Shed game, again, click create single assignment, give it a title, set it when you want it available from and until, click next, click Phonics Shed game, and then click the chapter that the GPC is from. So what we'll need to do first of all is choose the game. There are games focusing on first and last sounds in a word and middle sounds. There's Dare in the Air, where they have to fly and collect the graphemes and construct words. There's Matching Graphemes, where you have to flip the cards and match the graphemes to the sounds. and the same with the words. And then you've got indie pop, where they have to pop balloons which make the same sound. So whichever you feel is most suitable to what you are learning, I'll just click a sounding out one. Once you've selected your game type, you then need to select your grapheme, which is what will be practiced in this game. So select your chapter and whichever set. So you need to select your GPC. So it will be the game sounding out, and we are practicing the grapheme owl, as in Brown the Owl. You have then got the game options, where you can limit options until either the amount of games required has been done or Royal B has been achieved, which is just the highest score that they can get, or you can leave it like that. Click save and choose your pupils. Select the pupils that you would like. You can just select them individually as well if you would like. The teachers, if you want to add any teachers to view this assignment, and then click close. If you set your assignment for the future, it will be in your pending tab. If pupils have started it, it will look like this. You can see this person has played twice. They have got to lava status. They've got 83% correct. They played on easy, and this was their score. So what we can also do, if you want to look at this pupil in more detail, if we click View Pupil, go to Phonics data, we can see their assessment record there. And then underneath, we can also see their gameplay history. So we can see what this pupil has been up to, what the graphing they've been practicing, the score, the difficulty they're on, their result, and what they earned. If I click View, you'll be able to see in more detail the different words. If you need to edit an assignment, you can click Details and then go and click this edit icon here, and it'll take you back to that screen. If you would like to delete an assignment, you simply click the drop down and click delete. And then, so that is the most part for Phonics Shed. Now, as you will have learnt, if you have done or watched the training video for Phonics Shed, Spelling Shed and Phonics Shed are used to work alongside each other, as the phonics scheme doesn't cover all of the national curriculum spelling lists which are needed. So that's where Spelling Shed then comes in. And you would then start that from year 1, and that would help you to cover all of the spelling national curriculum aims and objectives as well. So what you would do is teach your usual daily phonics lesson, as well as a weekly spelling lesson, and then set them their spelling list to practice, as well as their GPC game to practice and their decodable reading book, just like we have been doing. I hope that answers any questions you've got. If you would like, as the teacher, to click around Phonics Shed and get used to it a little bit more, if you click play game here, this will take you to your game screen, where you can then click in and click around Phonics Shed and have a play. If we have a look at the pupils' perspective here, this is what it will look like when they have got an assignment set for them. You can see I've got 4 assignments, some of which are Phonics Shed, some are Spelling Shed. If I click in there, we can see what's been set for me. So from there I can click play, and this will take me straight to my assignment. I can select the difficulty and then click play.
Long.
So I've got this on easy, so I can see the letters in the bubbles that I need. It says it at the top. And so on. This is what Phonics Shed looks like when you click into Phonics Shed. The way you can do that is if you go to main menu and just click on Phonics Shed, that will show there. You can also get to your Phonics Shed assignment from this button here. That will show the same assignment that I just played. These are the Chapter 1 games, which are focused on sounds and music and rhythm. As you go up the Phonics Shed garden, you can see the different GPCs in their order and the different characters that we encounter as we go through the scheme. If you have limit lists on, you will just be able to access your assignment here. You won't be able to go through the whole of the Phonics Shed garden. Let's have a look at some of the other games. So we've had a look at Dernier. If we have a look at the first sounds.
Zag. Zzz. Zag. Zzz. Ah. G.
The other word ones are the same, just the middle or end sounds. If we have a look at the matching graphemes.
S. N. N.
So it's about matching up the phoneme and the grapheme together.
If you've got any other questions, email support@edshed.com.